Tonight, from U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports.
Spread between 4th and 6th Streets in downtown Minneapolis, we welcome you inside spacious U.S. Bank Stadium. Tonight, we finish off Week 6 with a good Monday nighter between the Miami Dolphins and the Minnesota Vikings. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game, yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions, right?
2 touchdown passes last week. 2
touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
On 1st and 10, Woodall, he'll buy some time right. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. 2nd down.
It's a loss of 2. Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 23-yard line.
Looking to throw. Woodall, he'll check this down to Lynch, complete. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Back to throw. Woodall. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. It'll be a sack and a loss of 3, but more importantly, it brings up 4th down.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And take it right at the 35. They'll score that a 36-yard punt. So now here are the Dolphins getting set for their first drive. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
And he's been playing at an elite level here in this early half of the season. Tops in the league in touchdown passes at this point. This is definitely a wide-open offense, so we'll see if he can keep his string of good games going right here.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 40. Throwing to start the drive. Richardson. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And this is taken in at the 5. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jalen Waddle, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead. So there you go, Charles. We heard the rumblings that he wasn't happy with how he was being utilized, and I think this will silence him for a little while, at least for the time being. His first catch, a touchdown.
This feels like it had all the makings of being one of those stories that pops up and goes away pretty quickly. Let's face it, the attention span of us from nowadays, not very long. And when things change for the better, it's not very long for him either. He's got to be excited.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. It was the safety blitz that ultimately did the job, and they're going to credit him with a sack.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. 13 yards remaining on second down. Handoff comes to Lynch. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. This defense for the Dolphins, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Seattle.
Even better than that, they pitched a shutout in that game, and I'm telling you, trust me on this one. That's a confidence builder for the rest of the season. When you get a defense that puts together a performance like that this early in the year, well, that sends notice to the rest of the NFL and spreads confidence throughout the locker room that they're going to be a force to be reckoned with.
The Vikings send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the second time. Take it at the 37. A very good punt, but a 16-yard return. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. So Miami coming out for their second drive. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time.
Touchdown, Dolphins! That's caught. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And I guess the question... Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Looking to throw. Woodall escaping the pressure, and he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. It's a loss of a yard, so they'll wind up crediting him with a sack, and it brings up 3rd down.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Throwing to start the drive. Richardson. Wide open receiver complete. Touchdown. A great play there. with his second touchdown of this opening quarter. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 21-0. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom. End zone. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk. Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line.
Let's be frank. You hate the fumble at the end of the play. But prior to that, I liked a lot of what was going on. Tucks it down, takes off, picks up good yardage. But in that portion of the field, that close to the sideline.
Step out.
Yeah, either get down or get out of bounds. Take care of the ball.
Yeah, he had the... But then the mistake. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
This offense continues to be a hot knife through butter. 3 drives, 3 scores, and knocking on the door again on drive number 4. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. Touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it is stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
Extra point attempt to follow here. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. They have the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. And now out comes Minnesota. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
Looking to throw on second down. Woodall. They set up the screen to Lynch. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12.
Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
So pass interference to call. That's going to set him up with a 1st down.
And if it's a bang-bang play, maybe the flag stays in the official's pocket, but instead, he definitely impeded the receiver's right to catch the football. The official's letting the players know how the game's going to be called here in the first quarter.
Following the penalty, Lynch. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Off the play fake. Woodall. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Call it a loss of 5. A big sack to bring up 3rd down.
He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. And these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Woodall. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. So a first quarter sack, and remember, keep in mind, he had 2 sacks in last week's game.
And it's always intriguing to me to watch these great pass rushers because some of them, they need their teammates to scheme for them, maybe occupy people and make it a one-on-one matchup. Other guys, they just defeat everything in front of them. To get 2 sacks in a game, it's a little bit of both for you.
Taken from just outside the 30. A very good return that time. 18 yards. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points.
And this is caught inside the 5. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. It's a big play there for Miami. How about this first quarter for them throwing the football?
This defense has 0 answers for what they've seen so far with the ball in the air. I'm not sure how they're going to change things around, but offensively, I keep attacking. I keep throwing the football until they make me change.
Well, that didn't take long. 1 play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Dolphins open the lead up to 34-0.
So the big play to kick off the drive set them up 1st and goal, and they're able to cash in right away on play number 2.
I think I'm starting to understand more and more when we get ready to do games and we meet with coaches why they talk about big plays, explosive plays, and how it sets them up for success, because that's exactly how they're able to score on this one. We saw the touchdown. We saw the payoff. But, of course, that big, long chunk play is what got them in position.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the rout is on here in this first half.
Vikings nothing.
So plenty of fireworks here early. 35-0 now as the kick is away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Minnesota now ready for their next possession. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Woodall, throw left side complete. That's Fletcher. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
On 3rd down, Woodall. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. That's taken on the 25. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And it'll be Dolphin football. Miami set to take over. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
It takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. It's a big play there for Miami. Defense blitzed, but they picked it up pretty well.
Allowed their man to stand firm in the pocket and not be hurried, didn't it? That allowed him to make the nice throw downfield to help complete that play.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season.
And the Dolphins have taken a 6-touchdown lead.
Extra point right down the middle. And a rout is on here in this first half. Hardly any time taken off the clock there. 2 plays, and they find the end zone for 6 points. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Minnesota's offense takes over possession.
They're still in search of an initial 1st down as they come up here 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Woodall rolling to his right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up second.
Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
To throw on second down. Woodall. And he's going to go down again. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. He finds Lynch. It's complete. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. It's fielded at the 45. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's only had a couple of carries. I mean, when you've got a horse like this, second quarter, got to start to ride that horse a little more, don't you?
You can't just neglect him. He's got to touch it, and often, in order to get maximum out of him. Typically, these types of backs, it's the accumulation of carries, and that's when you see the damage as the game goes on.
Yeah, let's see. They're going to try to get him into the flow, we would assume, here. He finds his man, complete. It's Nash. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A big play there for the Dolphins.
I'm seeing a lot of guys shaking their heads on defense right now, particularly in the secondary. And when you see that going on, that is never a good sign. But it's understandable. They've been shredded so far.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the Dolphins are able to add on to their first half lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. And they'll give to Lynch out of the gun. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
First down, the run with Lynch. And he'll get this up to about the 40. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Here's a give to Lynch. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively, or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
Fielded just inside the 20. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And he's had his chances in this game. He just hasn't been able to find any daylight so far.
Patience, patience, patience. And that's the hard part for a runner because they expect every run to be a big one for something to pop. So they have to sometimes go through the struggles before it
A leap, and he's got it. He got it. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. It's a big play there for Miami.
Well, partner, that's how you make a long drive suddenly not so long anymore. One big play, and they're already in field goal range with designs on getting more than that.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Now a give right side. Singleton. And he'll be stopped up at the line of scrimmage with a flag down. Let's check on the call. That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold him.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Back to throw. Richardson. He finds his man complete. It's Nash. And the defense not able to... From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. On second down, Lynch. And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
Second and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
On the ground, it's Lynch. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Looking to throw on second down.
Woodall. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
To throw on third down. Woodall. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the first down. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up fourth down. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. This is taken at the 18. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, first and 10. Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it first and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. A big play there. On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. Extra point right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
A throw left side to start the drive is complete. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
2nd and 6.
On the handoff, Lynch. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Woodall. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. The throw over the middle taken in. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big play that time through the air. 36 yards.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down. From the gun, Woodall.
Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And the Dolphins are going to get the football here at their own 23.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And with a little under a minute to go, still time to try to put a drive together to add to their lead should they so choose. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up.
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in, and he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. On his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. And that rushing touchdown is 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game, because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get our tour started out at venerable Soldier Field in Chicago, where it was the Bears who pick up the victory at home. Justin Fields, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. From there, we're off to check out another game. And they were losers in that one to the visiting LA Chargers. Justin Herbert, a touchdown pass in the victory. Lastly, we head to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough to check on the Patriots. And they were victorious in that.
And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. The Dolphins getting set to go back to work here in quarter number 3. And last time out, another touchdown. I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport. The roads will be fairly clear
that is
by the
one
time. To leave the booth.
27-yard line. A gain of 2. Brings up 2nd and 8.
Second and 8 coming up. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32. So, Charles, you look at this offense, so what a start to the season. 5 wins without a loss. When do you think that you start believing that maybe you're in the midst of something special?
Well, you and I both know every head coach never wants that thought to creep into a locker room. But the truth of the matter is, not quite at this time, because if we look at the Steelers in 2020, they're a great example. Remember, they started 11-0, then lost 5 of 6 and went out in the first round. But I think if you get toward mid-November, the Thanksgiving time frame, and you're still doing this, that's when things start to get real for a ball club.
40 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield, guy who can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, oh, he's a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
On first down, Sharp. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
In need of only about the length of the football here on second down. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
So first and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Here's a handoff out of the gun. A solid stiff arm, and he's going to get this inside the 30.
They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Gonna give this time to the tailback. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They run the counter. It's Mullins, and he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now a handoff here to his running back. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here this close. Sneak it.
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Dolphins take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. And certainly some credit there for that touchdown goes to the offensive line.
They never get the credit they deserve in the stat sheet, but they are the reason that they got the points. Excellent job up front, clearing the way for the score.
Point after here coming up. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So that drive, 12 plays in length, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half.
They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then,
the Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's second down.
It seemed like he kept going through those progressions, and I thought he might dump that underneath, but he couldn't get rid of the football in time.
and I have to wonder if he was thinking while he was back there, I wish there were a lot less progressions on this play, just someone that I can dump the ball to and get it out of my hands.
He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation. This is Lynch on the draw, and he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Not at all what they envisioned on third down, 3 yards in the wrong direction. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. And he fields it cleanly. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Brandon, we just saw the benefits of being able to run the ball successfully. They pick up 4 yards on that carry. So now if you're a play caller, you can do just about anything you want, but on the defensive side of the ball, you're scrambling a little bit. Now you're behind trying to figure out, do I need to blitz him? Do I need to pressure him? How do I gain an advantage on this snap?
Here's Richardson to throw on second. Under pressure, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing a full 9. 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this 3rd quarter. And with a 3rd and 14, we have 6 defensive backs out there now defensively. Looking to throw. Richardson. He's going to look deep down the field. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Some boot. Coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there, I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
They'll run on 1st down. Mullins. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. And to give this time to the tailback. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
On 3rd down, it's Blake. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. 7 yards on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the 1st.
And yes, everyone, that was the fullback carrying the football. I know it's a dying breed, it's a dying position for a lot of people, but I still think it's valuable and important, especially one who can carry the ball.
And you need short yardage. What makes sense? Go to a big body, let him plow forward just like he did there.
It's still a big man's game.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
They run the counter. It's Mullins, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 20 on the year.
And the Dolphins add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
Now the try here for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. That time a 9-play drive, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
And now out comes Minnesota.
And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Throwing on 1st down. Woodall. They'll get this out to Lynch, complete. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Can you believe it? 0 for 9 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Back to throw. Woodall. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. That's pulled in at the 32. Escapes the defender. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. On 1st down, Sharp. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They run the counter. Mullins. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy, sometimes having to hang out all day. Play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. On 3rd down, it's Blake, and he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the 1st.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 76 yards rushing for him now to this point. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Mullins. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
They'll keep it on the ground. Mullins. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Dolphins look like they're going to be moving to 6-0 as they extend that lead even further. Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it's capped off by a 13-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Minnesota now ready for their next possession. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now.
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now Lynch, he's got it on the draw. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
On 3rd down, Woodall, and that is incomplete.
They'll probably spend a little extra time dissecting the game film after this when I think part of their plan was to hit them over the top of the deep ball. They've been unsuccessful all night.
The Vikings send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. He'll look to set up his blockers. That'll go as a 39-yard punt, give him 9 on the return, and we have reached the 2-minute warning. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over as they try to finish things off in this 4th quarter, and that current 5-game win streak looking like it's going to go to 6. On 1st down, Singleton. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. 8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 49 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. Sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there, and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. 2 of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll go down at the 28. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
On 2nd down now, Singleton. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line.
I know we're in the era of wide-open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football, and we just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. They'll run on first down. It's Mullins. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, a little insult to injury here late in the game. From the right hash, this from 33. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Miami, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, the loss will drop them to 4-2 on the year. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Seahawks in Seattle. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.